Hello, I'm probably riding my bike. The long-awaited arrival of spring is here, and it feels like Seoul is coming back to life. The first flowers to bloom are the Forsythia, Kianadi, and there's a few cherry blossom trees popping out too, although the peak for those isn't for another couple of weeks. It's a relief to be able to be outside comfortably and feel the warmth from the sun and have a bit of colour back in our life. I love this fresh green on the new leaves of the trees. I didn't have much of a plan today. I'm riding my bike every day anyway. But last night my friend Juno messaged me to ask what I was up to and if I fancied going for a ride, getting a coffee, getting some food, and getting another coffee. I was wondering how he read my mind. Also, I haven't shown him my new rune bike, Riverside, yet. So this is a good excuse to come out and show off my new bike. I think he'll like it. I do. Some people commented recently that seeing a bike of mine with such overtly modern components feels wrong, but so right at the same time. It's nice to have a bike that contrasts so much to my others. Usually I have the comfy swept-back bars and 9-speed friction shifting. But for this, I've got the drop bars and the more modern click shift. I love the variety, and I love this bike just as much as my others now, especially when I want to go somewhere a bit faster. But it's still a comfortable ride with the super wide handlebars and short stem, and I've settled with having my Swift Zeitgeist bag on the front for easy access, and it just feels better too. Sport mode can't last forever. I need some kind of bag on my bike, but I think I'll stay rackless on this one anyway. Always got to stop off here and admire the view of the river and my bike. As I said in my bike check video, this is a medium Rufus Stone. I think Ash from Rune prefers bigger bikes, but I quite like the sporty feel of this size. Headed west today over to the Mangwon area in Seoul, an area I go quite often, as it has a great abundance of cafes and good food. And today I'm going to go to a cafe I've been meaning to go to for a long time. Looking forward to trying something new. Another early spring arrival are the magnolia blooms. There's quite a few in Seoul. They only last a few days, but they're so beautiful when they're here. Sorry to Juno for running a little bit late, but I can't resist stopping off for a blossom photo. I'm sure he'll understand.
Hey, 안녕하세요.
Here we are at M1 CT Cafe. They're a coffee roaster as well. I like the space with the big windows, and they were super friendly as well, which I appreciate. I think my criteria for a cafe is good coffee, friendly service, nice space. Most cafes have 2 out of 3. This one had all 3. Often they're lacking in the good coffee or the friendly service. The nice space is quite the easy one, I think. I splashed out on some Panama geisha beans, which I'll try later on, and got myself a flat white, of course. Made more delicious somehow by being served in a beautiful mug too. I think this cafe will be added to one of my regular go-to lists. Now time to head off for some lunch. In search of good tacos. Let's go. getting lost in the maze of the Hongdae backstreets. It's all part of the fun. We've found our destination. One Tacos. A place I've been meaning to try for a long time. My favourite taco place closed a couple of years ago in Seoul called Taqueria Stan, and I think these are similar vibe and flavour. Tacos are relatively trendy in Seoul over the last year or so. A lot of them are just pretty for Instagram, and I will try to find ones that are delicious, not just good looking. This place was excellent. I've never been to Mexico, but I still think I know what a good taco should taste like. Started off with some hard shell shrimp tacos, and then had a plethora tacos, all pork, with different parts of the pork. Simple flavours, well cooked. Some with cheese, a choice of corn or wheat taco shells too. Glorious. Perhaps we went a little bit overboard with 7 tacos each, but I don't know when I'm going to go back again. What do you think a reasonable number of tacos in one sitting is? I usually go for 3 or 4, but 7 just seemed right today. We considered trying out a new cafe again after lunch, but I think 1 new cafe in a day is enough. Let's go to one that I know is going to be glorious. First we need to cycle through the busy streets of Hongdae, weaving through pedestrians and cars. Taking it slow so you don't get stressed, and making sure you don't bump into anyone. I think that's the beauty of getting around by bike. You don't take up too much space, and if you take it slow and don't ride like an idiot, you can get around pretty safely. I was happy that Juno messaged me the day before to come out for this ride. I didn't have any plan, but I was thinking about going somewhere, so it's nice to make some last minute plans. I'm kind of strange, and I don't really like scheduling my social life too far ahead. It makes me feel kind of anxious to have too many plans ahead. Probably annoying for some people, but sometimes when I want to hang out with someone, they get their diary out and give me a date in 4 weeks at a time. I think it makes sense for them, especially if they're busy and they have kids and stuff. But I value their spontaneity and don't really like over-planning. Also, I don't know what kind of mood I'm going to be in at 4 p.m. on Saturday in 5 weeks. Sometimes I need space just to recharge, and having too many bookings in my social calendar can take that away. Problem is though, if some people want to hang out and invite me out and I say no because I can't plan that far ahead, then they just stop inviting me out. It's a vicious cycle. But I think my close friends understand me, and they're not offended if I say no. They'll just ask another time. If you're still playing Probably Riding Bingo, this will be one of your boxes. A stop off at Dark Edition. One of the best flat whites in Seoul. A relatively short hangout today. Short but sweet. A coffee, lunch and a coffee. Sounds perfect to me. And a nice ride home with all the flowers of spring. I think my videos will be becoming more beautiful as Korea and Seoul gets more colourful. I even found some mountain azaleas on the way home. Some jindalle. One of my favourites. Very delicate. Doesn't last very long at all. As per their name, you usually just see them up when you're hiking in the mountains. So it's a nice treat to see them in the city centre in Seoul. The next morning, it's time to try my new coffee beans. A washed Panama Geisha from Mangwon CT. And I'm mostly adding this coffee edit to show off my new grinder that my wife bought me for my birthday. The 1Z or Z Presso X Ultra, which has already made such a difference to the deliciousness of my coffee. Today I'm doing James Hoffmann's V60 recipe. This one smells incredible. 30 grams of coffee. And a little spray of water to remove the static from the grinder. Some might think it's unnecessary, but I think it helps. I had a nice enough Paulex grinder before, but this is another level with really quick and easy adjustment. I did 1 full rotation and then up to 4, about medium consistency. I don't usually drop so many beans, but filming takes some focus and attention away from making the coffee. This grinder is so much more efficient and easy than my last one, and it's so much faster. It sounds like I'm sponsored. I'm not. This is just a gift from my wife. I guess this part of the video is sponsored by my wife. James Hoffmann's recipes tend to call for quite a high temperature compared to other pour-overs. I'll try some lower temperatures later on. James Hoffmann recommends using a plastic V60 because it gets to the temperature more easily. But I try to use as little plastic as possible. So just take a bit more time to heat up this porcelain V60 filter. With the filter heated and rinsed, time to put the coffee in. Even it out and put a little well in the middle with your finger. This ensures that all your coffee gets wet or fully saturated. Then you add 60 grams of water to bloom the coffee. Pick up your filter and swirl it a few times. At 45 seconds you continue pouring until you get to 300 grams, about 1 minute 15. If you can measure a flow rate, apparently it's a flow rate of 8 grams per second. From 1 minute 15 you complete pouring until you get to 500 grams. And about 1 minute 45, use the spoon to stir once clockwise and once anti-clockwise, knocking off the grounds from the side. After draining a little, you give it some more swirls and allow the water to drip through the grounds entirely, aiming to finish about 3 minutes 30. And your coffee is ready. I've completely stolen James Hoffmann's recipe for this. I hope you don't mind. But I've been working on my own recipe for my Hario switch, which I'll share in another video. For now, it's time for me to enjoy my morning coffee. Hope you've enjoyed this video of coffee and tacos. Like and subscribe if you want to see more. See you later.